everyone, I'm Holly. I am the maker and doer of all the things here at Missouri River Soap, and today we're packing orders from the autumn collection. I had my autumn release last Sunday. I chose a little different day. There's a story there. But I am working on packing up orders today for the Pack and Chat. So let's just get right on started. Right on started? Is that even appropriate? I don't think so. Alright, so this first one is going to Ken in Massachusetts. Thank you for your order, Ken. And Ken ordered one of the samplers, and I'm so glad that he did. And he kindly wrote me an email to let me know that this is a product that he really likes the idea of, because he likes to change out soaps, and my soap is long lasting, and so sometimes it'll be 2, 3, 4 weeks before, if you don't have like a million children and everything using the same soap bar, it's gonna last quite some time. So here we have the sampler, and there's 5 smaller bars. I cut them at 0.75 instead of 1 inch, so they're actually very close. Now, I was going to do a whole different size originally, and then with some thinking, I figured out that if I just cut them thinner with my single cutter, yes, it's a little bit more work, I could still package them exactly the same way, same labels, with just a quick adjustment on the weight, and it worked great. So I'm probably going to do more of them, because I have some customers that say, they have little hands or arthritic hands or whatever, and the smaller bars work really well. And kind of the funny thing is, I never use a full-size bar anymore. I always just use the smaller chunks, the end pieces and stuff to test and everything. I mean, those are ours. That's what we use. And we switch out a lot. And so I understand the joy of switching out scents and, different soaps with different milks, etc. It's really fun to switch out. So I have my pumpkin paper. I just love it. Apparently yesterday, August 26th, was Pumpkin Day, because Starbucks put out their pumpkin spice latte. I don't know. We had run through town in Polson, and I had just been talking about how supposedly they had their pumpkin drink out. I don't go to Starbucks. I'm just supposedly, because, it's actually a fairly monumental day. I remember when it used to be September 1st, and now they do it quite a bit earlier. It wasn't that early this year, though, really. Anyway, we're driving by Starbucks in Polson by the Flathead Lake, and there was a sign, pumpkin spice is back. So I was like, okie dokie then, she back. Alright, so we're going to also put in an anise soap, and this smells like licorice. It is a black and white swirl. I love it so much. We have pumpkin vanilla bean, which I meant to change my font. It got a little weird on that one. I usually do that smaller one. But pumpkin vanilla bean tallow soap, and it is made with so many of these ingredients. And then this one is infused with lemon balm, and this is lemon balm tallow based soap. And I have this one in my shower currently. I'm obsessed. I am just straight up obsessed. It smells so amazing. So I want to remake it, because I never want to be without it. But I was, the essential oils I get from New Directions Aromatics. And I'm just not sure how it's going with this, Canada and the US. I don't know how it works. I know when I go to their website, I choose the USA side, but to my knowledge, all my past orders have come out of Canada. And so I'm kind of curious. So if anybody in the US orders from New Directions or anywhere outside of Canada and just understands the process, let me know. Orders from the US, orders from Canada. I don't know. My poor husband and I, trying to get this cabin done, and all the life and everything, our brains are starting to get a little squishy and weird looking inside, I can imagine. We're going to put in a calendula carrot soap sample. I had to get a little different bags. And for my smaller bars, they look pretty cute, don't they? I kind of like it. And so this one is going to be off to Massachusetts. And you know, I just want to stop and say thank you so much to all my wonderful customers, the people that support me, send me encouraging messages. I've been a little discouraged as of late, and y'all just, no, that Missouri y'all just came out. You really have been good to me, and I'm just so thankful for all of you. I do have amazing customers. Just amazing. So this order is going to the best customer in the whole wide world. It's going to my Uncle Steve, and he does live in Montana also. He lives quite a few hours away, but we are in the same state. And here's the really weird part. We've only seen each other once since we moved up here, and that was Labor Day last year. And we have just been building this cabin, and just, I'm excited. So when we're done, he better watch out, because he's going to be coming over, and we're hoping to pull the fifth wheel and go do some more fun things, but we got to get this cabin done first. So, you know, Thanksgiving, stuff like that, it's on. So he so kindly ordered. He has been so very supportive of me and my soap business, and he really cheers me on. We talk about scents and how to blend some things, and he gives me ideas every now and again, and so it's really, really fun. I realized I need to get a box, so let's see. It doesn't need to be very big. I know just the one. So I'm going to use a 664 box. And I'm going to put in this bubble paper. Love it. And my pumpkin colored paper. Alright, so we're going to put in 2 bars of on blacktail. And these are 2 different batches. So this one, batch number 17 for the year, and this one was batch number 50 for the year. They're 2 very different styles, and I had one set back for him anyway, and so I'm finally getting around to sending it. And for the on blacktail, its story actually is that last Labor Day weekend, we got in the Jeep and went trailing on Blacktail Mountain, and we talked about the scents of the forest, what essential oils I could mix to kind of bring that out. I admit this is still not there yet, but it is still very nice. I'll keep working on it. We're going to put in a calendula carrot, and he didn't order it. I'm going to put in a lemon balm because, like I said, I'm obsessed. Let's see. And then he ordered a trailhead. Let's see. So he ordered 1 blacktail, a trailhead, and then the calendula carrot is back. So we're going to do those. So I'm tucking in the lemon balm, pumpkin vanilla bean tallow soap, and this one is made with real pumpkin. I've infused vanilla beans and then added in the seeds. It's really nice. And then I just texted him and asked him if he liked licorice, because the anise soap is back and I love it. I love the scent of it. My favorite licorice, and I can't really eat it very often unless I have a good protein meal, but RJ's, I think it's called. I'm obsessed. I love it. It's in the picture for this, and yes, yum. Yum, yum, yum. So my uncle, he's my uncle, but we're less than 10 years apart, so we're not very far apart there. He's really kind of more of a sibling than my uncle, but we're all each other's got at this point. The rest of the family, you know, if you've seen The Grinch, we're all we've got. So we have gotten pretty close, and he and my husband are pretty close at this point. So we only reconnected, well, it's probably been about 10 years ago, but we weren't in cahoots for a lot of years. My dad and his mother, and then my Uncle Steve as part of that process, broke off their relationship when we still lived in Montana in the 90s, early 90s. So I never had any relationship with him or my grandma for all the rest of those years, but we reconnected, and I'm so glad that we did. All right, this one's headed across the mountains to my uncle. This next order is going to Mitchell in South Carolina. Thank you so much for your order, Mitchell. And we have just a lot of soap. I love it. We're going to put in a couple of bars of Gilded. Now, Gilded is back with this release, obviously. I guess, duh. Anyway, it smells so good. It is a J'adore type fragrance. So it's ylang ylang, lily and rose combined with orange blossom, sandalwood, and musk. Now, this is a very strong scent normally. And I used to, and I'd get old, you know, the magazines, the beauty magazines and stuff back in the day, and you'd have the little, I don't know, they used to do that, still do that magazines, the perfume, you know, you open it up. I'd get a headache, and this gives me a headache full blast, so I do lighten it, which is noted in the description. However, it is still, in my opinion, very strong, but not so strong that it's like headache inducing for me. So I have this at my bathroom sink, and every single time I'm done washing my hands, I'm like, oh yeah, that's nice. It's good stuff. Very, very pretty. So then we have a figgy cream going in. Is my box overkill? It might be. I am waiting on some boxes to arrive because I was neglectful. And it was one of those things like, I gotta go order boxes. I gotta order boxes. Go check what boxes you need. And I'm just like, didn't do it. I still have plenty of boxes. I just don't have the exact mixture of sizes that I prefer. We're going to put in 2 Harvest Apple. Now this is a half brown and half green and white swirl. I honestly did not think this was going to do very well because brown soaps rarely do. I sold out first. Now I say sold out because it did, but I do still have a couple of bars held back. But I've really reduced my batch sizes again, so that's, but I still have so many soaps from past releases. I just never know what's gonna sell. I just don't. So we have a couple of the Harvest Apple. Then we're going to put in Autumn Berry and Brown Sugar and Fig. Wow, just good stuff. Good stuff, I'm telling you. All right, you see in there like so. And so I was just going to say that it's been a conversation as of late, you know, I should probably check out Fair, you know, because my soap hasn't been selling as well in general. And I said, I think on my last one, I'm questioning my whole identity because I identify as a soap maker. Anyway, you know, a lot of people have told me to check out Wholesale and do stuff like that. The problem is that I make high quality soap. These should actually be $20 a bar, and I'm selling them for either 10 or 11. Just because I think that's what, I mean, I don't want it to be too unreasonable. However, they're just really good, and I don't want to compromise with all the extra coconut and maybe bringing in some palm. It's fine if you use it, and I have, and I still would, you know, the proper palm. But I don't want to compromise my recipe. So, like, I was contacted by a local person who does wholesale, and my prices scared them away. Apparently my wholesale price, because it's not much off of this. So yes, I do. It's a high cost soap to make. It really is. So I'm just not going to be really What's the best way to say that? Wholesalers are not really going to choose my products. So we're going to put in apple and oats and pumpkin spice. I load my soaps down with butters and milks and olive oil. It's just good stuff. So we're also putting in a calendula carrot and a lemon balm. And then the last one is the vanilla bean tallow soap. So if this was a 964, I would like that better. This is a 965. And I don't even think I bought that, but I did buy some 864s, which that would have worked. I ordered from Granger, and they are supposed to be here like tomorrow, so hopefully we can pick those up. I think I only ordered them yesterday morning, so there's that. I need to pick out a sample. Alright, so I picked a chunky bar of anise. I hope you didn't get anise for a reason. But I really do love it. But you know how people are with licorice type stuff. So this one is going to be off to South Carolina. And I was just going to say, if you haven't purchased from me before, and you're just curious of what people think, make sure you go pop around at my different products. Even if it maybe not something you're interested in, go look at the reviews. I brought reviews back more recently, but quite a few have built up. The bath bombs and the soaps, everything. The newer stuff is not going to have reviews because the app sends them out the request 2 weeks after purchase. So the new ones, you know, it's not going to be on there when they release, but some of the older ones, and you know, maybe like Figgy Cream, I think it has some from back in the day. But I've gotten so many amazing messages that my soap is the best that they've ever tried, my bath bombs are the best that they've ever tried, etc. So if you're wondering, just bob around and look at some of the other products and see what people have to say. Okay, so this order is going to Diane in New York. Thank you so much for your order, Diane. And Diane is just so amazing and so supportive. She always comments, and we have emailed back and forth several times. Diane has a gift shop, and she's given me some like ideas for products that I could possibly carry. She's seen that I was like gonna bring the diffusers on, the car diffusers, and she's like, heads up, here's some information you need to know. So thank you so much, Diane. You're very helpful and supportive, and I think you're amazing. And hello to Riley Flynn. I wonder if he perked up his ears. That's her puppy. He is the cutest thing. And she also mentioned some prayers for Maverick, my best buddy, my mini Aussie. He is an osshole if there ever was one, but my mini Aussie, he had an emergency. It wasn't really emergency so much as very unexpected, and it had to be done. I mean, I guess it kind of was emergency. He had, I think what happened is, you know, if you have followed me for any length of time, you know that my dog Maverick likes to carry around sticks, and he gives some epic booty wiggles. He's very cute, very adorable. And I mean, his booty thing is just something else. I'll tell you what. Anyway, I think a piece broke off and got under his tongue, and then it tunneled, and it must have been stewing for a few weeks. You know, he's extremely floofy, and so he hid some swelling really, really well. And I'm doing over here, but I'm pretty sure it's over here. Yeah, it was his left side. And he developed a really big hard abscess, and the morning we found it just before the vet opened. We called, and they're like, get him here around 1. We walked in, we're like, is this what we're gonna do? And they're like, yeah, because we've been through this once before, but it's been almost 2 years ago. And so he had surgery. It was all very traumatic for all of us, and I'm still not sure that he is back to where he needs to be. She couldn't find it, like a stick or anything. She'd found a tunnel, but not a stick or a piece of anything. So she really dug down in there and looked around, but didn't find anything. Dr. Meg, she's the best. And so we're gonna have to just keep an eye on him. His bark is a little bit different, and then sometimes when he does bark or sometimes he drinks, he kind of gags a little, and so it's possible it's just the process of healing, but we're keeping an eye on him. And please don't send me any of your scary stories. I don't want to hear that. We've got it under control between us and the vet at the moment. I just don't want to know. We're going to, the day something happens to my dog will be, you might as well just send me under with him, because it's going to be really hard. All right, we're going to put in, let's see, I think we have a calendula carrot. So we're going to put in a calendula carrot and a lemon balm. Love it. I think I'm going to actually put them right here. I put in the sampler. I didn't really show you that. I put it in the sampler. Soap sampler. Okay. Now I'm wondering if I planned this out very, very well at all. All right, we have anise. So we have anise. And then we have gilded and honey bear. I do have a lot of the summertime products that are on sale. I'm needing to move them out. My curing rack is completely full. I just don't have anywhere else to put anything else. I just pull some off. I get them wrapped up. That's the way it is. I don't have any room anymore because I have so much stock that is still here. All right, so now we have bath bombs, and that's kind of what I'm sitting pondering over here. I think I'm going to start over and refigure this without floof. So let's refigure this out without all the floofies, because the soap doesn't need all the extra at the bottom. Lemon balm and calendula. Let's put in the gilded and everything like so. Would one more fit? No, but we'll put it there. I think that'll be fine. We have 3, but I'm putting in 4 bath bombs. So now we do need a little bit of shred, and I need to go get some bubble paper. So the morning that we woke up and I realized that my dog was in this situation was our 26th wedding anniversary. And we had fun plans for the weekend of going to our favorite barbecue place in Whitefish and running some trails in our Jeep and just having a day to ourselves and just really having fun, and that all got squashed. And we haven't really been able to make it up. It's been a couple of weeks. I am just feeling like I need to put these over here. Let's see if that will... I could probably just put these soaps on the top. So why don't we try that first? Alright. So I don't think I actually showed you. I just started wrapping. So we have the apple cider donut bath bomb. It smells oh so good. Now, for a lot of the fragrances that do contain a little bit of spicy notes, they're body safe. They are skin safe, but I do have a note that, hey, you may want to, you know, kind of patch test this to see if they bug you at all. They are well under the limits. So, you know, they smell amazing and they're much fun. And then we had the pumpkin donut, and so these are copying my wax melts that we have not packed any up yet. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, that's better. And then let's put the soaps just over here. Yeah, let's do that. I like that. Alright, so the next one is maple leaf, and this is also a bath bomb, and it is scented in a light vanilla spice scent. It's similar to my sunflower wax melt scent, if you love that, but it's not the same. And they were supposed to be sunflowers, and I worked so hard to get those to press, and they were just like, nope, sorry lady, not gonna happen. So yeah, they became maple leaves, and I think they're quite beautiful. I feel like that should be fine. We'll just shove some in the various places. I just realized I probably should get another box of shred on the way. Oh no! I will be so glad when this cabin is built and I have just time. Time is luxury. So I am going to tuck in a Picking Pumpkins bath bomb. And this is just the prettiest pumpkin-y type scent. So we're just going to tuck one of those in as an extra because I have quite a lot of those left. And I just know she loves the bath bomb, so I wanted her to try. And I don't have any bath bomb samples to send out this time. I intended to. Completely forgot about that. We're going to put in a pumpkin vanilla bean unscented tallow soap and the paper. And this one is off to New York. I know it's kind of unrelated, but I watched a couple of the episodes that National Geographic had done about 9/11 on YouTube. You know, that is coming up, and oh my gosh, I had to quit watching them because they are traumatizing. Oh my, what has happened? Let's not get off of work at the end of the day with your coffee and watch something entertaining. That is you have to guard your heart and your mind and be in the right state to handle watching something like that. But I do think it's important. I feel like we've really forgotten 9/11 already. Alright, so this order is going to Cassidy in South Dakota. Thank you so much for your order, Cassidy. I just love these huge orders. I am just blown away. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to put in the scrubs first. So we have bronzed strawberry. So I'm obsessed with this scent too. I was just thinking the other day, no, it wasn't the other day, it was this morning, that I just wished I had a bronzed strawberry soap in my bathroom because I love it so much. So bronzed strawberry. I'm putting in a coconut lime verbena. And then I'm going to go ahead and tuck in a figgy scrub. I have a whole bunch left over, so that will be a free thing with this order. So I've got them all stacked up there. These scrubs have really slowed down. So I had decreased what I was making, and then I know y'all love them because you rave about them, but they haven't been flying off the shelves. So I have quite a few of those, and those do have an expiration date. They really need to be used. While it's typically 6 months to 12 months, I usually mark them as 6 months just to be on the safe side. Nothing super significant is going to happen. It's just that you have shelf life of oils, and it reacts. It's a different process with the whipped soap scrub compared to a soap bar. The soap bars, while the fragrances may fade, the colors may fade, the soap itself is just going to get harder and more conditioning, and so, you know, it pretty much is going to last. Alright, let's see what we want to put in first. Let's put in just a lot of the soaps. We're going to put in 2 Figgy Cream and 2 Gilded. And my son loves Gilded. He says that it is such a nice scent. He has some friends, girlfriends, and they love that. They're not his girlfriends. They're just girls that are friends. And they also are big fans of the Gilded. So I don't I don't think any of them ordered, but I know that they were wanting to get some of that, so maybe they still will. I'm not sure I fully informed my son that they were ready. All right, so he could pass the word on. Let's put in brown sugar and fig. It's a 12-8 box, and I just feel lost over here because it is so huge. I feel like I can't work around it. Autumn berry and brown sugar and fig. And I think I started the video saying that we'd learn more later why my release is on Sunday. And that was just because of my dog's surgery. I lost a lot of time to prep, and so I needed a few more days. That being said, what did we think? Did we like Sunday? Like, I didn't really notice any difference in sale numbers or speed of sales or anything like that. Wasn't necessarily slower or better, faster. So you'll just have to tell me what you think. Was that a good time? Like, I feel like by Sunday at 6 p.m. my time in the mountains, you know, a little bit later for you and whatever. I'm like, what are the time zones? So that's 5 p.m. on Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. I just feel like by Sunday evening, maybe you've like done your fun, you're kind of home, you're getting the kids ready to go to school the next day, you know, stuff like that. Maybe you're like settling in a little bit. So you'll have to tell me what you think. We're going to put in 2 Harvest apple and 2 of the apple and oats. So good, I love it. And then I wonder if it's all gonna fit in here. Boy, I hope so. I think so. We got a lot going on. I think it'll work. So we have 2 of the pumpkin spice. Now I do have a video for the making of pumpkin spice. And it is made with infused vanilla bean and vanilla seeds from inside the vanilla bean pod thingy, and then some pumpkin. So then we're putting in 2 pumpkin vanilla bean tallow soaps. We have 2 of the lemon balm. Let's see. Let us see how I want to do this. Well, I wonder if these are gonna fit. Okay, those will fit there, cool. So 2 lemon balm. We have an anise and 2 calendula carrots. And then let's put that one off to the side. So, whoa. You can kind of see there. So I did accidentally recently throw one of these on the floor and nothing happened. I keep saying that, but yet I always wrap them in bubble wrap, and I really don't know that they need it. They're so hard. I mean, if I can throw them around, they are probably fine. And then I was gonna put in a coconut lime verbena soap as well, because we have a lot of things going on here, and I just want to put in extra things. I'm sure some of you thinking, well, that's your problem, lady. You can't make any money giving stuff away. Well, I want to, so I'm going to do it. I mean, as long as they're just going to sit on the shelf, what difference does it make anyway? All right. We have a lot of bath bombs. A lot of bath bombs. Alright, so I've just made a little layer on the bottom there. I'm hoping that gives us the space that we desire. Alright, so let's go in with the bath bombs. Now I think I'm going to do it a little different. And let's see, I think you can pretty much see in that camera. I think I'm just going to kind of, that's not really, they're not long enough to do that. Okay. Keep on with my usual. Alright, so let's just start layering them in, and we'll see if we can make it. And if we have to put them, do another box, by golly, another box is what we'll do. Like I've said before, South Dakota is not that far from me, so regionally speaking, it's not quite as expensive to go there. So we had apple cider, and now we're putting in the pumpkin. Getting jigsawy around here. What is happening? I used to have some office clips that I could... No, that wouldn't have worked. Never mind. Disregard. I don't know what's for dinner. It's almost dinner time around these parts. What is for dinner? You know... We're busy people, and dinner is such a pain. If it was my husband and I, we'd probably just skip. We probably just wouldn't eat, but we have children that are, not even children, but older children that are very hungry people. So, I think they need to eat or something. Of course, they could do it themselves. My daughter has so many food restrictions that there's about nothing we can eat anymore. So all joy is sucked from life where food is concerned. You wouldn't know it, but it's true. We don't eat very much. Let's see. I do not think we're going to get them all in here because I still have all of these and these and these. Will both of them fit? I think these will fit together. We just have to keep trying until we can't try anymore. And I guess we'll put the pumpkins down here. It really is all fitting in quite nicely. It's all fitting in their little zones. Very nice. Alright, so I do believe we're going to be pushing those off into another. So we'll just put them in a small one. What would be better for me to put these in or the wax melts? Alright, let's put in the wax melt. So here we have a couple of the pumpkin dipped donut wax melts. Always so fun. And then a couple of the apple cider donut. So fun. These are just classic Mo River soap wax melts for the fall. I'm pretty sure that's close to the top. We kind of could make it. Let me see. This is exciting because I think it's going to make it after all. Oh yeah, it's happening. It seems like chunky pieces. Alright, we'll put one there. We're going to put one there. This is exciting. This will work. And one there. Oh my goodness. This is very exciting. And then I'm going to put in a cozy. Did that do all right? Ew, it did smear just a smidgen. Oopsies. I'm going to have to make up some label for wax melt samples. This is a Cozy Vibes, and it is a pumpkin and an apple, and it's oh so good. I'll put that in there, but I had some shiny labels instead of just the matte labels left that I write the name on, and unfortunately, it smeared a little bit. So that is a bummer. Well, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I will have to edit this video down pretty good because it did take me a while to sort this one out. And then my husband, he was out talking to me for a while. So I've been working on this one for quite some time. Oh yeah, this is the size we need to get an extra sheet. I was just thinking while I was doing this, I just remembered that I had a weird dream last night. And I'm wondering what its meaning is. It's like a recurring dream, but it's not. Like, it's a smidgen different every single time. But I think it's the only dream that I have ever had, like, similar things over and over again. And what it is that we go back to Kansas City. And I've been having this dream for, like, ever since we left our Belton house and moved to Southern Missouri. And we were there for 6 years, and now we've been here for almost 3 years. So, I mean, I've had this dream probably once or twice a year this whole time. And what it is that we go back to Kansas City, to Belton, for whatever reason, and we just go to our old house and go inside and sleep and do all the things. And it, like, occurs to me at some point in the dream that this is not our house anymore, and we don't have any right to be here. But then at the same time, it's like we're still the owners of the house, and yet we, like, rent it out. It's very weird. There's, like, these two different things that happen. But we're really not supposed to be there. So this last one last night, we were there doing our own thing, hanging out, and they came home and were, like, alarmed, and we're alarmed, and we're like, hey, we're the homeowners, and we're like, oh, okay. And I don't know, they ended up being okay with it, but we got out of there. But I have this dream over and over where we go to the house, we don't have any right to be there, somebody else lives there, but we go in and just act like we own the joint. I don't know what that means. I don't have any particular attachments to that old house. It was a nice house. I raised my kids there. But I don't have any, like, specific desire to be there. Alright, so this order is off to Cassidy. Thank you so much again. I appreciate you very, very much. And I think I'm going to call this Pack and Chat here. I feel like it's kind of gotten long already. And we still have some more to do. And we have a cabin tour to do. So that's it for part 1. I hope that you'll join me again in part 2. And I'll talk to you later.